Hi folks, Dave, the Honest Audiophile. Today's topic is concerning, but it's also kind of controversial. So let's have an open mind and have a civil conversation regarding these topics. All these thoughts and opinions are my own, and you can take them however you want, but let's have a civil, open-minded conversation regarding the topics mentioned in this video. The audiophile reviewer community is currently grappling with a very significant and pressing issue. It's the excessive promotion of products, which ultimately undermines the integrity of honest reviews. This phenomenon has become increasingly pronounced as the pressure exerted by manufacturers and vendors for favorable reviews has intensified in recent months and years. Such pressures compromise the objectivity and subjectivity that is crucial for credible reviews. With the advent of digital platforms, websites, and social media, the pervasive influence of social media, those websites, and those digital platforms, the landscape of information access for audiophiles has dramatically changed. Reviewers are tempted by lucrative sponsorships and partnerships. They can lead to biased reviews that prioritize profitability, popularity, and greed over authenticity. This is a huge issue, and you can see it in the reviews always being positive, and negative thoughts and opinions are kind of pushed and brushed aside. If there are negatives mentioned in a review, they're kind of glossed over, and then the positives are very much highlighted and presented. Oftentimes a product that has a hint of a negative review will then get flipped and the positive will be spun so that the positive side of the product is always highlighted and the negatives are just kind of, they're over here, but they're not so bad. The market's saturation with products further complicates the situation, making it increasingly difficult for viewers and consumers to discern genuine reviews from those influenced by commercial and personal interests. The competitive, cutthroat nature of the audiophile community fosters a herd mentality. Sensational reviews often overshadow authentic assessments, results in products receiving undeserved praise, while truly innovative and highly quality offerings are overlooked. Oftentimes, things are just hyped, and then the next week, something else is hyped, and along comes this other product that's a high quality, well-performing, well-deserving of positive reviews, and those reviewers just kind of overlook it, overgloss it, or they will just negatively bash it because it's not the cool device to be reviewing. It's not what is being hyped at the moment by everybody else. And so it just kind of gets looked over, and the hyped stuff just gets over glorified and super positive reviews. To navigate this complex environment, both reviewers and consumers must advocate for transparency and integrity within the community. Reviewers should be diligent in disclosing any potential conflicts of interest, and consumers should actively seek out diverse opinions to form a well-rounded perspective. You need to get to know the reviewer. You need to understand the processes of the reviewer, the thoughts and reasons and the biases and the preferences of the reviewer. What music do they use? What gear do they use? How often do they change out what gear they use? What is their reference gear? What is their reference music? Why is that? Get to know the reviewer, understand them, because the more you understand them, the more you're going to understand the review, and you're going to be able to trust them more. You're also going to be able to find out whether or not the reviewer is a shill or is being honest and has integrity. A collective commitment to authenticity is essential to restoring the trust that is crucial for making informed purchasing decisions in an increasingly overcrowded market. Manufacturers and vendors have increasingly incentivized positive reviews, and that blurs the lines between critical evaluation and promotional content. This is very, very much a thing. As a reviewer myself, I get inundated all the time with incentives to give a positive review. I even get offers to get paid to do a positive review. If you do this within this amount of time, if you do this, and this, and add these and get this discount code and get this, and this. And if it is a promotional piece or if it's trying to influence my reviews, I decline. This pressure often leads reviewers to prioritize maintaining favorable relationships with brands and vendors, sponsorships, affiliate links, employment, and free products over providing honest and unbiased assessments of their experiences. I have no fear in telling a manufacturer how something sounds, how it performs. I don't care about the relationship with the manufacturer. If the product is not good, I'm going to say it. If they want to get mad and upset about it, so be it. That's their choice. I'm being honest. Now, I'm not going to go out there and be ruthless about it and just absolutely destroy the company because of one product that they made wasn't so good. I'm going to be polite, nice, and, respectful to them in my correspondence with the manufacturer and the vendor. But at the same time, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be truthful about the product so that you understand what the product is like, in my opinion. In most of these cases, reviewers receive direct compensation for their endorsements, further complicating their ability to remain objective. And in some of the other cases, reviewers are even employed by manufacturers and vendors. This is a big, huge conflict of interest. It opens the door to being biased and agenda driven. Also, you have a fear of potentially losing your employment, losing your income feed. And that is a huge conflict of interest. What I don't understand is there's several content creator channels which are reviewers and are considered to be high level, but yet they're sponsored and paid by the stores or by the manufacturers. And yet, as the community, the viewers and stuff support those channels. And they look to them and they go, oh, these guys are like God tier. They are the best thing ever. And what they say is golden. But yet, for some reason, their opinions and stuff like that they're not agenda based. They're not biased at all. They're not being influenced at all by those manufacturers. But yet a smaller channel, which isn't paid, which isn't sponsored, which isn't supported, maybe has monetization and maybe has a couple of affiliate links, is looked at as being, oh, wow, these people are dishonest. This reviewer can't be trusted. They are just full on, just driven to be biased because they have affiliate links or they're monetized. What about the ones that are employed? What about the ones that have big time sponsorships that are being influenced, being provided? Now, there's a difference between being provided gear to do a review. Gear is expensive. Reviewers can't fully purchase every single product and have a consistent roll of products to review. Most reviewers don't have that type of income. Some do, but most don't. So it really comes down to the approach of that reviewer when it comes to the product being provided. Some of the, I do not, as a reviewer, I do not take any sort of, oh, so-and-so, this manufacturer, it's worth a $5,000 product or whatever, sent me this thing is awesome and I'm going to give it a positive review. Or this company has high, this is like premium stuff, so I'm going to give it a positive review. That doesn't come into play for me. It doesn't matter who sent it to me, whether it was a freebie, I get to keep it. If it's loaned, if I purchased it, they all get treated the same. It's just another product to review. I'm going to look at every single one and assess it the same way. Oftentimes, though, other reviewers can't do that, and they take into consideration how it was given to them, the value, the price tags, and the premium of the manufacturer or the vendor, and all that kind of stuff. So you have to really get to know the reviewer, so you understand their approach when it comes to how products are received. The rise of sponsored content has raised significant transparency concerns, eroding the trust that consumers place in reviews. It can be a big detriment to be sponsored. sponsors require certain things. They're going to want positive reviews. They're going to want a lot of views. They're going to want subscribers. They're going to want all kinds of things. If not, you're going to lose that sponsor and you're going to get somebody else and move on. So sponsorships do impact how you approach a review and how you're going to spin it. Monthly collaborations between manufacturers and certain content creators suggests an emphasis on popularity and financial profit rather than showcasing what the reviewer and manufacturer generally consider the best and of interest to the community. Now, I have no problems with collaborations. In fact, I'm working in regards to a collaboration with a manufacturer at this time, Katori Audio. So collaborations aren't evil in of themselves. I think they're a great opportunity for the reviewer and the manufacturer to showcase what they believe is the best quality sound and also what is a interest to the community. And it helps to kind of highlight what that manufacturer and that reviewer are trying to present to the community as far as a sonic performance and a product. Where collaborations become a problem is when they are just not really interested in the community part of it. They're not interested in showcasing all of the balance between the manufacturer and the reviewer and getting out the best product. When it becomes a cash cow or a honeypot for the reviewer and for the manufacturer just to get the next cool thing because it has their name on it and it just becomes money driven, that's a problem. Reviewers must find a delicate balance between fulfilling brand demands and offering honest insights, all while maintaining their credibility amidst their commercial pressures. Sadly, most reviewers fail at doing this. Moreover, audiences are increasingly gravitating towards sensationalized reviews, reflecting a broader cultural shift that prioritizes hype and excitement over critical assessment and analysis. This trend places additional pressure on reviewers to conform to the prevailing norms, often promoting products based on buzz rather than genuine performance. You see, consumers are easily swayed by flashy marketing and catchy slogans. Frequently, they overlook the necessity of thorough evaluations, and it leads to impulsive purchasing decisions and subsequent disillusionment. Flashy, really nice quality video, impressive audio, sound demos, graphs and measurements and things flashing on the screens and great pictures and all this kind of stuff draws the attention. And oftentimes those reviewers can get away with not really giving a detailed, thorough evaluation. They just give some fluffy words and throw out some audiophile terms and say this product is good. And everybody goes, oh yeah, it's awesome. Instead of actually really evaluating the product and giving an honest and approach to the review and detailing how it performs. A balanced approach that values both honesty and thoroughness is essential in fostering informed decisions and ultimately enhancing the quality of products available in the market. In recent years, the understanding of sound quality has significantly eroded, with both reviewers and audiences increasingly prioritizing objective measurements over personal listening experiences. This shift diminishes the appreciation for the subtle nuances of sound that can greatly influence a listener's enjoyment. Evaluations have become skewed, relying heavily on limited reference points and ignoring the rich tapestry of auditory experience. A balanced approach that recognizes the importance of both subjective impressions and objective data is essentially for cultivating a more informed community, enriching discussions, and empowering consumers to make better choices. I have no problem with graphs and measurements and, relying a little bit on specs to know how things are going to interact and work together. But those are just tools to help you to understand. What really matters is your ears and how things perform and how you perceive it, and relaying that to the viewer during the review is vitally important. And when reviewers give honest opinions and impressions based on what they're hearing, not based on what they're seeing on a graph, because sometimes things sound completely different than what they graph like. Graphs don't tell the entire story, and specs don't always match up to what is expected amongst all things. There's not a universal kind of play here. And so when a reviewer consistently, accurately informs their viewers of how products sound, viewers can understand where that reviewer is coming from. They can understand it. They listen to it. They learn, okay, when he says it's this way, it's that way. And when he says it's this, this, and this. And so you learn the approach, you learn what they're hearing, how they're describing things. And then you can make informed decisions because you understand where that reviewer is coming from. Whereas if they're just going off of a graph, you're going to get a skewed approach because graphs don't tell the entire story. Many reviewers have developed an over-reliance on objective measurements, which can lead to a disconnect from the actual listening experience. So many reviews just focus on, well, it says that it has this in the mids, or it has this in the treble or in the bass, and so it sounds this way. And they do not listen with their ears, or they don't understand what they're hearing with their ears, and so they just say, because the graph shows that, that's how it sounds, and that's what I'm hearing. This disconnect leads consumers who end up purchasing products that do not align with their personal preferences or listening habits. Striking a balance between empirical data and personal insight is crucial for creating honest reviews that resonate with audiences, ultimately fostering a deeper connection and leading to more informed purchasing decisions. To achieve a more balanced approach, it is vital to value both objective and subjective analysis in the reviews. Reviewers should strive to reconnect with their auditory senses, engaging in active listening and transparent communication with their audience. Educating consumers about the fundamentals of sound can play a significant role in restoring trust, promoting a healthier marketplace where informed decisions prevail. There's a reason why I created my terms and definitions list and also my review process. It's a tool for you all to be able to go read it, understand how I'm applying terms and how I'm defining things. So when I describe sounds and how you see my review process and my music recommendations and the music that I use as reference, how it all plays together into my review so you can understand what I'm saying. By informing insights into product performance, reviewers can enhance consumer knowledge and foster a more informed community that values quality and authenticity. As the honest audiophile, I emphasize the importance of individuality and authenticity in my reviews. I do not parrot what other reviewers are saying. I don't listen and watch reviews of a product until after I have reviewed mine. Look at my review process and it'll tell you that. My goal is to provide comprehensive analysis that extends beyond mere marketing strategies, empowering consumers with genuine insight. I aspire to cultivate a community that values diverse perspectives and informed decisions, ensuring that every voice is heard and respected. I want to have an open mind and an acceptance to all opinions. You might not agree, but I want to agree to disagree. I'm not going to argue the person, I'm going to argue the point. And we need to have an open, civil conversation. We need to understand each other, because sometimes you can learn from somebody else. You go, I never thought of it that way. I never saw that. I didn't fully understand this, and that makes sense, and I truly do it. And then you go and research it and you find out, hey, you know what? I've been wrong. And now I'm learning something that is correct. And you might change your approach. Reviewers should prioritize providing honest, subjective opinions, focusing on personal experience and product performance in real-world scenarios. Weekly, I run a soundboard for a local church, and my wife plays various instruments around the house. I listen as I go around town and hear things, and I use my ears to diagnose what's going on. And I use those experiences and that knowledge that I learn in my reviews. I use it to compare, how do instruments sound? How do vocals sound? How do these speakers and this soundboard and these IEMs and these headphones, how, and this DAC and this amp, how does it all compare to what real life experience sounds like? I also attend concerts and live events and listen and learn, and then apply that in my review process. Furthermore, reviewers should assess products based on personal satisfaction and value for money, considering factors such as build quality, usability, emotional connections, along with the audio performance. Take the whole picture in when evaluating a product and then relay that to your viewers. A balanced review combines both objective and subjective insights, offering consumers a complete picture, enabling them to make well-informed decisions. It is important as a viewer to understand if a reviewer only listens to a certain type of music and really hates other types of music, and a product they say, oh, this is bad, this doesn't sound very good. Well, it's because they're using that one genre. How does it apply to those other genres of music? Understand the reviewer, understand the music that they use, understand the gear that they use. It's imperative that reviewers prioritize authenticity over the allure of commercial success, as fostering trust and integrity is essential for the health of the community. Transparency regarding brand relationships is crucial, as it ensures that honest feedback can effectively guide consumer decisions. How was the product received? What did the manufacturer or the vendor ask for when it came to your review? Did they demand that it be done in a certain time frame? Did they demand that you say certain things or promote certain things? Things like that. It's very important to have transparency. Also, if you have favorites as a reviewer, I prefer this type of brand, I like these type of cables, I like these types of IEMs, and I have a preference for them. Say it, when you're including that in the review. Be transparent. The motivation behind a review should lie in attracting views through trust and engagement, highlighting the importance of consistency, transparency, and audience interactions, and building a loyal following and contributing to a vibrant, inviting community. Sadly, a lot of reviewers fail at doing this. If you go on their Discords, if you go on to their websites, if you go on into their comments of videos, if you listen to what they say in the comments, oftentimes that is not how they are projecting and how they are informing. They are driving agendas and opinions and biases. My ultimate goal as a reviewer is to demystify the often complex audio market, offering clear evaluations rooted in personal experience and knowledge. I aim to foster a community characterized by open dialogue, encouraging informed choices, and instilling trust in the review process. I urge my fellow reviewers to prioritize honest impressions, providing valuable insights that can guide consumers effectively. I urge my fellow reviewers to stop the shilling immediately and get back to the basics. I urge consumers and viewers to know the reviewer, understand where they are coming from, what they prefer and why. What do they listen to and why? What do they use and why? Understand and get to know the reviewers, because that will help you to make informed decisions and purchasings, and you won't be spending near as much money, hopefully. By emphasizing transparency and constructive feedback, reviewers can enhance our credibility and foster a culture of innovation and trust that benefits everyone involved in the audiophile community. I'm Dave, the Honest Audiophile. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Don't forget to enjoy the music and that honesty is the best policy.